So this past Thursday on Impact, we saw Eli Drake win the GFW World Title, and it's really sad to me that how GFW in the past 5 years, well, GFW slash TNA, has gone so paper thin with the roster. Now this is a a really dramatic drop in champions. Now, how do you get from having Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Jeff Hardy, bloody whatever, whatever on your roster, and you lose all those talents to Ring of Honor and WWE, New Japan, and all that, respectively, and then you get to have an Eli Drake. You've got to bring all these XW guys like Chris Masterson, John Morrison. Um, you've got stupid Josh Matthews who blocked me on Twitter, by the way. I know you guys know that already, but whatever. He's trying to save GFW, and it doesn't matter how many times Jeff Jarrett, tries to say that GFW is a new brand, it's a new thing. The thing is, Jeff, this brand's been alive for 2 years, and when you had no TV deal, nobody gave a shit, and when you've got a TV deal now, nobody still gives a shit because GFW flopped, it sucked, it was absolute shit. And now you're trying to pave all the cracks saying, please watch GFW, it's something better. We've scrubbed the TNA name away because it's got so much bad history with it, with all the bad book decisions what TNA had in the past. And now, when I think that TNA was turning the corner with pushing finally some young guys and their homegrown guys like you've had your Eli Drakes and your EC3s, but they put it on Eli Drake. But not only that, what gets me pissed is that they actually wanted to build GFW around Alberto El Patron, a 40-year-old guy, the same guy who worked for WWE and made his name in WWE. Now, I know that you want a big name, but this is the problem they had before in TNA. When they relied on your Stings, you relied on your Kurt Angles, you relied on your Jeff Jarrett, you relied on your Hogans, Blairs, Foleys, Hardys, all these other people who weren't TNA originals. And when you had your TNA originals, like your Bobby Roodes, like your Samoa Joes and your Austin Aries and Daniels and Kazarian, when they were looking at you in the face and saying that this is the future, these are the guys that we should be pushing and to make TNA, GFW different, what happened to those guys? They wanted to leave or those contracts ran out and that was it. And then all you was concerned about was, oh, we've got Kurt Angle, we've got Sting, we've got Jeff Jarrett, we got fuck it, whoever else I said. But anyway, when you lose so many of those talents and you see them now in the WWE, you think, how did GFW fuck that up? Like, you had these guys for 12, 13 years, some of them on the roster, and then one day, they leave because of creative or it's contract or they don't want to pay much as they need as whatever, and they leave. And you see how well the WWE been booking AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and Bobby Roode and even Eric Young Insanity now, and you look at what TNA was doing with those guys, especially AJ Styles, him, Joe, and Eric Young were like the three worst booked wrestlers in TNA because like they were getting repackaged after repackaged after repackaged, heel face. They actually tried to even pair AJ Styles with Ric Flair, and AJ Styles didn't even need Ric Flair. Okay, his promos weren't that good, but he's AJ fucking Styles. He's fucking quote unquote phenomenal. There's just some things that piss me off. I have got nothing against Eli Drake being world champion, but he's not a main event guy. He's not established as a main event guy. He's just a mid-carder. They have no, main event stars in that company. All they are is just, paper-thin company that's just relying on ex-WWE guys again. And all I can do is laugh at them. Every time I see a YouTube clip of GFW and people are praising, all the TNA matches, going, oh great, we got John Morrison, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, doing their shit on the internet, and then, they try to push the young guy in Eli Drake, but nobody cares because they've been pushing the WWE guys for so long, and they drove away so many of those original TNA fans, GFW, I'm just going to say TNA fans, for so long that nobody cares. And this was the same problem what WCW had back in the Attitude Era. Because when they had their homegrown talents like your Jerichos, your Benoits, your Guerreros, your Melancos, when they had those future guys looking at them in the face as future world champions, and when you're still pushing guys like your Scott Halls and your Kevin Nashes and your Hulk Hogan's, you know, when you and they was getting to like older and they was in their 50s and whatever, and you had, you know, young talent like Jericho and like the guys I just mentioned, and that's how WCW went into business. I mean, they tried to push young talent at the end of WCW, but you know what? There comes a time in wrestling that there's a time that you should push young wrestlers, and there's a time what WCW did and GFW doing now, where you're pushing them too late because you should have been doing that when you had your stars like, you know, TNA had their AJ Styles and Bobby Roode, and like WCW had their Jerichos and Guerreros and stuff like that. So yeah, what do you guys think of Eli Drake being GFW World Champion? Do you guys care at this point? Like, I don't know. I just did that mini rant on that, so yeah, check you later.